welcome to the Supreme Court.
An historic day in Washington as Ketanji Brown Jackson is sworn in as the first black woman justice of the U.S. Supreme Court.
As an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Under the Constitution.
Under the Constitution.
And laws of the United States.
And laws of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Now, on behalf of all of the members of the court, I am pleased to welcome Justice Jackson to the court and to our common calling.
Jackson was nominated by President Biden and confirmed by the U.S. Senate earlier this year after Justice Stephen Breyer announced he would step down. The court balance remains the same, with 6 justices generally siding with conservatives and 3 justices, including Jackson, expected to generally align with the liberals. The court also announced their 2 final rulings of the session. In a victory for the White House, the court ruled 5-4 that the Biden administration can scrap a Trump-era policy that required asylum seekers arriving at the southern border to remain in Mexico as their cases are reviewed. But in a blow to the Biden administration's climate agenda, the court ruled 6-3 to limit the Environmental Protection Agency's power to cut the carbon output of existing power plants.
It's devastating. It is yet another example of the court's unwillingness to protect the health and safety of the American people, from guns to abortion and now climate change. It is devastating.
The ruling comes after last week's decision by the court to overturn Roe v. Wade, the landmark precedent that ensured women the right to an abortion. Each state can now set its own rules, and several have already outlawed abortions. Speaking in Europe, President Biden said he now supports abolishing the so-called filibuster so Congress can pass a law guaranteeing women the right to an abortion with a simple majority vote.
I believe we have to codify Roe v. Wade in the law, and the way to do that is to make sure the Congress votes to do that. And if the filibuster gets in the way, it's like voting rights. It should be, we provide an exception for this, require an exception to the filibuster for this action to deal with the Supreme Court decision.
But it's unlikely that Biden will even be able to get all 50 Democrats in the Senate on board with scrapping the filibuster. That means the Supreme Court's decision to allow each state to dictate its own abortion laws will likely remain in place for the foreseeable future. Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.